Good morning. I'm Charles O'Mahony. I'm co-director of the summer school in conjunction with my colleague Gabor Gombos, and I'd like to welcome you to Galway. Thank you very much for travelling from the four corners of the world. I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Professor Anne Scott in a moment, who is going to give a formal welcome to you all to Galway and to the university. But before I do that, I just want to go through a few minor kind of housekeeping issues with you, okay? So first off, all the information you essentially need for the week will be in your registration pack. So the programme is in there, there's information on various different aspects, so that's your first port of call. So a lot of the information you need for the week, or most of it, is in the pack. If you have any particular queries, so if you have any difficulties or you have an accessibility issue or you need some support, we have a registration desk which you're familiar with now in the lobby. So we have a team of volunteers working with us for the week, so thank you very much to them. They're all wearing purple T-shirts. So if you have any question or query, please feel free to ask any of us, and particularly the people in the purple T-shirts, they'll be able to assist you with your queries. The next point I want to make is around, I suppose, the design of the programme. So the design of the programme for the summer school is very interactive. So you'll see in the programme for the 5 days of the summer school, there's a big emphasis placed on having as much participation from the audience as possible. So at the end of every day, there's going to be breakout sessions into small groups, where you'll be able to bring your experience and expertise from your home jurisdiction to discuss the proceedings in small groups of the various different panels. We have information on the panel, on the small group, the breakout group that you're broken into in the lobby. So you can get that information out in the lobby, and we've appointed a facilitator, one of our volunteers from the summer school, who will facilitate those breakout sessions every evening. And then just to say, in the morning time then, you'll have nominated in your small group one person to report back in the morning time. So really the design of the summer school is to be very interactive. The next point I want to make is in relation to photography and videoing. So we are videoing the proceedings, but we're not videoing the questions and answers, okay? So just to be aware of that. Cormac will be videoing over the course of the 5 days, but we will not be videoing the proceedings in terms of discussion, questions and answers. In relation to photographs, there will be a group photograph, and there will be photographs taken throughout the course of the week. If you don't want to be in a photograph, don't stand into a photograph, or you can ask the photographer not to photograph you. There's just 3 events then that are happening this week that I want to draw your attention to as well. Tomorrow evening we have a poster presentation. So participants at the summer school are going to be presenting in the lobby between 5:30 and 7 on their research, their advocacy and their work in the lobby. And that's accompanied by a wine reception. Okay. On Wednesday, we have our main social event for the summer school, which is a barbecue in the Radisson Blu Hotel, and that's at 7 p.m. There will be transport from Cara Village, and there are directions to that as well in your registration pack. The last thing I want to talk about is the participatory exercise. Now, you'll see in your pack that there is a Parliamentary Committee going to be operating on Friday that's going to give you an opportunity to apply the knowledge that you've gained over the course of the week, debating a piece of legislation that's aimed at ending involuntary detention and treatment in mental health services. Okay, so we'll talk about that in greater detail tomorrow morning. I just want to say that we're looking for one member, one participant, one person here to act as the minister for that exercise. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, but you might consider volunteering yourself for that role. The last thing I want to say is in relation to fire safety. So we have a number of exits at the back and here to the side, and the fire assembly point for the building is at the very front of the building. You'll see a sign that says T1. So that's if there is a fire, we all assemble at the front of the building. I will now hand you over to Professor Anne Scott, who is the Vice President for Equality and Diversity at the University, who will formally welcome you to the University. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Colleagues, visiting scholars, summer school participants, guests, I'm really delighted to welcome you here to NUI Galway on behalf of the University President Jim Brown and the University Management team. I hope you enjoy our sunshine. You may have arrived yesterday. By the time you've left Friday, you will have experienced the Irish summer. So at least the timing is good. I would like particularly to thank Charles O'Mahony, Dr. Charles O'Mahony, Head of the School of Law and Co-Director of the summer school here, for the invitation to be with you this morning and to welcome you onto our campus. We've approximately 200 participants from about 50 countries and at least 10 panels of eminent scholars and experts covering a vast array of topics and interests. We think it's the biggest disability law summer school in the world at the moment. So you're very welcome. The summer school theme this year, I think, is very timely within an Irish context, a consideration of the experience of people with impairment and participation restrictions related to mental health. As I say, this seems particularly timely here as we, as a society and as practitioners and professionals in various areas, try to grasp, understand and indeed implement elements, for example, of our recent assisted decision-making legislation. I think history provides us many examples of the importance of legislation frameworks and legislation, including its force for good in terms of both highlighting and maybe reinforcing the need to evolve to different ways of seeing and thinking, and to build in particular supports in society to help all of us live a more flourishing human life. Indeed, one of my colleagues, I worked in Liverpool for a few years, and one of my colleagues in Liverpool used to keep chanting, legislation, regulation, communication, the only way to change anything for the better. So I think this summer school is very well focused and very timely for us. I think the summer school provides, I guess, a forum and a venue for debate, discussion, exchange of ideas. It will provide a really amazing set, in fact, of experiences and insights. And I guess what I would encourage you to do, because very often when we are engaged very forcefully, either as a user of service or as a practitioner in the service, we have a lot of vested interest. And I would really encourage you not only to discuss and debate and acquire as much new insights and new kind of dimensions as you can, but also listen, particularly to the people you most vociferously disagree with. The older I get, the more I realise the less certain I am about anything. So I think this is a really safe environment, I guess, for really engaged and stimulating debate, but also for a real possibility of coming to understand why an apparently rational person would hold maybe a very opposing view. So as I said, I think your summer school programme is really stimulating and will certainly engage youth, including audience participation in the various elements that Charles has already mentioned. But I do hope you will also get some time to wander around our university and take some of the nice walks and some of the nice scenery in as you contemplate some of the things you've heard. And I also hope that you manage to visit the city of Galway, which I'm sure some of you at least will be aware has a great reputation for theatre, music, food and lots of fun. So I wish you every success during this week, and I wish you a really pleasant leisure time also. So intellectual stimulation and food for the soul. Thank you very much.